AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI. It's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
Welcome to From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers. A podcast brought to you by College Recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career, and hosted by Work Defined. Join our AI co-hosts as they dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Let's get your career started.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are taking on what is probably one of the biggest career questions of our time.
For sure.
As AI gets more and more sophisticated, which jobs are actually, truly resilient.
Right.
So we're going to cut through all the noise with a deep dive into this really insightful analysis from Resume Now, which was shared through College Recruiter.
A fantastic source.
Our mission today is to give you a shortcut, really, to understanding this future-proof path. We're digging into their list of 12 careers that they meet this kind of gold standard.
And what's that criteria?
They offer strong pay, they have real measurable job growth, and they seem to be structurally resistant to automation.
Okay.
And the really surprising takeaway, even before we start, is that a lot of these secure, high-value jobs, well, they don't require that expensive 4-year degree.
That's a huge point.
Yeah. The key, as the sources really emphasize, is leveraging 3 things: your hands, your heart, and your head.
And that framing is exactly why this is so important. I mean, this isn't about finding some minimum wage job that AI just won't bother with.
Right, exactly.
This is a blueprint. It shows where human value isn't just holding steady, it's actually accelerating. The market is paying more for it.
So as AI takes over the data crunching, the repetitive stuff,
the human skills, empathy, physical adaptability, crisis judgment, patient trust, those are becoming the ultimate anti-automation tech.
I love that framing.
So let's unpack these roles, and I think we should start where that element of heart is just completely non-negotiable. Human health and care.
Okay, let's do it. And let's start with some of the highest earners on this list, where that trust you mentioned is everything. First up, dental hygienists.
Great example.
When you look at median pay, they're pulling down around $94,000 a year with a projected 7% growth. That is a powerful salary for a job that often just needs an associate's degree.
It's a fantastic career anchor. And the reason it's so resistant, it isn't just about, being good with your hands.
Right.
AI is getting brilliant at analyzing x-rays, no question. But it cannot do the core function of the hygienist.
Which is?
Building trust. I mean, think about it. You're in that chair, you're vulnerable, maybe you're nervous.
I'm always nervous.
Right. And the hygienist is doing that meticulous tactile work, spotting subtle signs of gum disease, and all while managing your emotional state. That blend of precision and comfort is just... It's a human skill set.
And that same principle applies, sticking with the high-paying diagnostic side, to diagnostic medical sonographers.
Mm-hmm.
They're operating the ultrasound equipment, earning around $89,000 a year with a huge 13% projected growth.
Again, really strong numbers.
And it absolutely requires technical precision, how to handle the transducer, get the right image. But what makes it AI-resistant is the real-time human part.
The judgment calls.
Exactly. You're not just taking a static picture. You're interpreting these faint images, you're adjusting for movement, you're communicating, and sometimes you're dealing with very sensitive news. The machine gets the data, but the sonographer brings the humanity.
Precisely. The moment you introduce an emotional variable, a nervous patient, a tough diagnosis, reading nonverbal cues about pain, the machine just fails.
And the human expert has to take over.
Right. It's about synthesizing emotional data with technical data. Which brings us right into the broader caring cluster, where physical recovery is the focus. Take Occupational Therapy Assistants, OTAs.
Okay.
They have one of the highest growth rates on the whole list, a staggering 18%.
That is explosive growth, and they're earning around $66,000. But let me just challenge this a bit.
Go for it.
Couldn't a specialized robot or maybe a sophisticated VR system guide a patient through recovery exercises? We see that tech evolving.
It's a fair question, but the source makes a really clear distinction between programmed exercises and creative recovery.
What's the difference?
OTAs help people regain independence after huge life events, a stroke, a bad injury. Their work needs massive creativity and patience to customize treatment.
For a specific person.
For a person who might be non-compliant or dealing with cognitive issues, you can program a bot to move an arm, sure, but you can't program it to creatively adapt a kitchen setup for that person's specific struggle.
Or invent a new way for them to button a shirt. That makes sense.
That adaptive, compassionate assistance is purely human.
And we see that mirrored in physical therapist assistants, the PTAs. They're earning about $60,000 with 16% growth. It's the same idea.
It's the motivational piece.
Yeah. A robot can count reps, it can give you metrics, but it can't see that a patient is holding back out of fear or pushing too hard and about to get injured.
It can't provide that emotional encouragement.
And if we're talking high stakes, we have to talk about respiratory therapists.
Absolutely. Earning about $80,000 a year, 12% growth. This is where the head, hands, and heart all converge under maximum pressure. When a patient is in acute respiratory distress, you need a calm, skilled human managing ventilators, giving emergency meds, making split-second decisions. That's irreplaceable.
The stress tolerance alone.
It's huge. You need the technical knowledge of an engineer and the calm demeanor of a pilot in turbulence.
Okay, that's a perfect way to put it. So we've established that jobs needing deep empathy and human judgment are safe. Let's dramatically shift focus now.
To the hands and the head.
Exactly. Mastering the unpredictable physical environment. We're moving into skilled trades and the green energy sector, which is just booming.
And here's where the numbers get really wild.
They really do. You have to lead with the energy sector. Wind turbine technicians, the most explosive growth on the entire list. 50%.
50. That's a massive market signal.
And they're making around $63,000.
Hey, this is William Tincup, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Practitioner Corner podcast. It's a wonderful podcast about the journey, the paths of how practitioners, both HR and TA, kind of go from high school, college, all the way to where they are right now. Some of the things that they've learned, how they've been successful, people that thrive around them, etc. It's a fun podcast. You'll love it. You'll learn from it. Subscribe to it. Thanks.
So why is this so AI resistant?
Well, it's more than just they work up high. It's about physics and the environment.
Well,
these technicians are scaling hundreds of feet up, dealing with vibration, unpredictable weather, wind, ice, and doing complex, heavy maintenance.
On site.
On site. The cost to automate that kind of adaptable physical work in an uncontrolled environment like a turbine tower is just vastly higher than hiring a skilled human.
Right. It demands agility, risk assessment, real resilience. And right behind them, showing a similar trend, are solar photovoltaic installers.
Another huge growth area, 42% projected growth, earning around $52,000.
And the source makes this fascinating point. Every single rooftop is unique.
That's the key.
The pitch is different, the structural support varies, shadows change, the wiring is custom. It requires real-world problem-solving on the spot. It's not a factory assembly line.
And that's the core concept right there. Generalized human adaptability versus specialized AI efficiency. This connects right back to the traditional trades.
Like electrician.
Exactly. A solid median pay of $62,000, 9% growth. The idea that these trades are simple to automate just ignores reality.
The reality of our existing buildings.
Yeah. When an old building needs troubleshooting or there's a fault in some undocumented wiring behind a wall, an AI isn't going to figure that out.
It's not.
The job is about interpreting blueprints, diagnosing faults from ambiguous symptoms, and then physically getting into cramped, difficult spots, crawling through attics.
The physical execution and negotiation of the space. That's the barrier.
Totally impractical to automate.
It's the difference between reading a map and actually navigating a hostile jungle. And the same logic applies to HVAC, text heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration mechanics.
The backbone of comfortable living.
Yep, earning about $60,000 with 8% growth.
Yeah.
And their whole job is diagnosing a complex system that's failing in some weird, unpredictable way.
Especially in older buildings.
They have to synthesize electrical knowledge, fluid dynamics, all of it, and then adapt their fix to that specific situation. They are the definition of human problem solvers in the field.
It's clear the market is rewarding physical expertise mixed with abstract problem solving. These jobs require what scientists call common sense. an understanding of the physical world that AI finds surprisingly hard to master.
Absolutely. And that combo, the hands-on mastery and the abstract judgment, that forms our final cluster of resilient roles.
Where technical skill meets critical judgment in high-stakes environments.
Which brings us back full circle to healthcare tech. Radiologic and MRI technologists, they're earning near $79,000 with 5% growth.
Mm-hmm.
We hear all this hype about AI interpreting scans better than doctors. So where does the technologist fit in?
The technologist is the indispensable human interface, the safety guard.
Okay.
AI is great at reading the finished image, but it can't create the perfect image in the first place. The technologist manages the complex machine, yes, but more importantly, they manage the patient.
An MRI can be terrifying.
And claustrophobic. You need a human to coach the patient, to make sure they stay perfectly still, to monitor their vitals, adjust for different body types. It's blending technical control with acute emotional intelligence.
That's the bottleneck AI can't solve.
And that blend is even more critical in the operating room. Surgical assistants and technologists. Median pay of $62,000, 5% growth.
So we hear about robotic surgery all the time. Why wouldn't AI be perfect for assisting a surgeon?
Well, this is a perfect place to challenge that. Yes, robotic surgery is here to stay. But the human surgical technologist is responsible for the sterile field.
And all the tools.
Hundreds of the physical instruments. And they have to anticipate the surgeon's needs, which are not linear. Surgery is a dynamic, evolving process.
Right. Things go wrong.
Exactly. A human can see a slight shift in the surgeon's mood or anticipate a complication and hand over the right tool without being asked. That active awareness, that teamwork is fundamentally human. Technology supports it, it doesn't replace it.
It makes perfect sense. So let's wrap the list with a job that tests human judgment and courage more than any other, the ultimate chaotic role.
EMTs and Paramedics.
They earn around $46,000 with steady growth. And their environment is just the definition of unstructured data.
Totally.
They're responding to a complex, messy, emotionally charged scene. You have to instantly assess everything, manage safety, prioritize victims, and provide compassionate care.
The cognitive load is astronomical. Their speed of diagnosis, their ability to navigate chaos, and their capacity for compassion under fire are just indispensable. There's no flowchart for the level of crisis they face every day.
They really epitomize everything we've talked about.
The hands for care, the head for diagnosis, and the heart for the patient.
So when we step back and look at this whole list, all 12 roles, whether it's healthcare or green energy or emergency response, what's the single unifying takeaway?
Well, if you synthesize all the data, it's pretty clear. These careers show what the market is willing to pay a premium for.
It's not just one thing.
No, it's not just manual skill. It's not just intellectual capacity. It's the complex, unscripted combination of skill, purpose, and adaptability. These are the jobs that require you to interpret physical reality, interact emotionally with another person, and apply customized judgment in a constantly changing environment.
It's really not about trying to compete with AI on its own terms in data processing.
Not at all.
It's about choosing a path where the uniquely human ability to connect, to solve unique real-world problems, and act under pressure is the key ingredient.
That human connection, as the data shows, is becoming the most valuable technology of all. This deep dive shows us a clear pivot in what the market values.
Rewarding those critical human traits.
Physical expertise, crisis judgment, deep empathy, and creative adaptation. Those are the essential assets now.
An absolutely fascinating and deeply practical analysis of where the job market is really going. Thank you for walking us through all this.
And thank you, the listener, for tuning in. I just want to leave you with one final thought based on what we've synthesized here.
Go for it.
If the market is clearly rewarding physical expertise, unscripted crisis judgment, and deep empathy as the best hedges against automation, what seemingly soft skill should you be actively prioritizing and developing right now to future-proof your own career? Consider those human variables.
We'll catch you next time for the next deep dive.
This has been From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers, a podcast brought to you by college recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career. Each episode, we dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Subscribe to this podcast for free now, so you don't miss an episode, and visit www.collegerecruiter.com to find your next great job.